When it comes to advice on saving money, you'll often hear different people tell you save money on buying coffee, make the coffee at home, or don't buy that avocado toast, and all sorts of different things that you're just like, well, yeah, I get it, it adds up, but it's not going to make a difference. I'm not going to be able to buy a home, etc., 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 right? My whole thoughts on this, and I learned something new recently from Ramit Sethi, who basically advises his clients and people and the public in general to spend money on the things that you love and save like crazy on the things that you don't love. So, for example, in my life, the things that I love, for example, I just started playing softball and I love playing softball, right? Softball brings me so much joy. I'm going to be playing softball for the foreseeable future. I grew up a huge baseball fan. I've been watching baseball religiously for the last 20 years of my life since I was 10 years old. And I had never played baseball before, organized baseball before in a league or anything like that, just in school. So softball is the next best thing. So I joined this league and I have a bat. I already had a softball bat from a couple years back that I bought. I spent at that time, I was spending as little as I possibly could because, the bat's not going to make a difference. I just need a bat, right? Back then, my mentality was completely different. I was also earning a lot less money at that time. Now, I just purchased a $225 bat because it is a good bat. Did my research on it. Someone else on my team has the same exact bat. He did his research on it. I've seen the reviews. I've been using his bat during the games, and that's something that I love. I spent that money, right? And I also want to get better as a hitter in the league, so I just spent money on buying a tee, a softball tee, so that I can hit off of the tee, so I can get better at my bat path towards the ball and just hitting. Now I have the tee. Obviously, I need softballs. One softball on Amazon is like $10, right? The 12-inch softball that I'm going for. So, rather than doing that and buying one or two and practice by myself, improving my swing, obviously I don't want to have to hit one ball all the way into the outfield, go get it, come back, and do it all over again. So I found that there was 12 softballs for $79.99, so $6.66, I think, per ball, which is a great deal. So I'm going to purchase that. Those are things that I love. Now, where will I save money? Well, I'm not a foodie. I don't like to go out to eat. So a lot of the times if people are trying to go out to eat, let's just say I'm not a fan of going to escape room. I just think personally, I'm not a fan. I just think that I don't want to pay money to use my brain to solve a puzzle to get out of a room. You know what I mean? As far as a business model, I think it's a brilliant business model. As far as me personally, if my friends are going to escape room, I'm saving money. I'm not going. I don't enjoy that, right? I don't enjoy going out to eat unless it's with a specific set of people or a specific company for a specific reason, which is very important to me, and I think that it should be celebrated. Sure. But other than that, I save money like crazy when it comes to that kind of stuff. I don't really go out anywhere, so I save money in that sense. But when it comes to something I love, like for example, making content so I can put information like this out into the world and my thoughts out into the world and documenting my life, which I'm going to do in the near future, I spent money on this microphone and, its partner, which is another microphone exactly like this, and the receiver, which is attached to my phone. And I spent about $400 Canadian on this specific thing for the purposes of providing clear audio and the features that it comes with and how well designed the microphone is. If coffee is something that you drink once in a while and you get it because everyone else is getting it, yeah, you got to save money. But if coffee is like your passion, like you love it, like I feel like, loving something and needing something are two different things. If you need coffee to get through the day, because coffee, let's be real, coffee is a drug. Caffeine is a drug, sorry, which isn't coffee, unless you're getting decaf, which most people are not. I used to drink an iced coffee every single day, so I get it. If you need it, I don't know if that's something that you love, right? Can you love something and need it at the same time? I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think about that one. Can you love something and need it at the same time? I guess you can. I'm talking about like a thing, not a person. So Ramit Sethi, he uses the example of the sweater. He spends a lot of money on high quality sweaters that he's going to have for years and years and years and years versus just spending money on cars. Maybe he doesn't like cars as much, so he saves money like crazy on cars. Maybe he uses public transportation or drives a 2010 Toyota Corolla or something like that. You know what I mean? And saves money there, right? And he paid for it in cash. It depends on your unique situation and your life and what you enjoy. Like, the whole premise is that you should enjoy your life. You shouldn't save money and be miserable because you can't buy anything and you're just saving and saving and saving. It's just save money. You need to save money. Saving money is essential to building wealth and or living comfortably, or even just surviving if you live in a high cost of living area. Especially if you don't learn it growing up like me, like it doesn't even register that you should be saving money, and it's very, like, you need to be saving money. But the way that some people go about it is a little extreme, and they don't really spend their money and they cheap out on a lot of things. Like, I have a real problem when I see people cheap out on things, and it's like they buy this like poor quality thing and they cheap out on it, or they penny pinch on certain things, and it's actually they're trying to save a couple dollars, and then they get the wrong thing that could potentially harm them down the road, in a sense that, well, they're going to have to buy another one for sure, or they bought a lower quality thing that, even though they are advised against that, they go for the cheaper option, and then it's going to hurt them, and you know it, and it's just hard to see that. But some people are just dead set in their ways, you know what I mean, about saving that way, because they don't want that thing. Maybe they don't want that thing and they don't fully understand it, and they're not trying to understand value. I'm more of a value, peace of mind, convenience person. Like, money is just a tool for me. I have an abundance mindset. I used to, I guess I don't know if I ever had a scarcity mindset. I mean, I think I was always spending money. Like, saving money is not as innate for me. So like, I knew to save, but I wasn't actively thinking about it, versus now I am. And it's very, very important to me. And because you can't invest, and investing is like my whole world. So you can't invest without saving, right? So saving is one of the most important skills, the most important skill in personal finance, the ability to save. If you can't save, forget about it. Just forget about everything. You can know everything and not be able to save and be disciplined. Saving and discipline go hand in hand, obviously. So being able to do that is absolutely key. Another thing that I spent money on is I bought tickets to see Chris D'Elia, who is my favorite comedian. He's coming to Toronto on November 9th. And, I've been listening to his podcast ever since 2017, 2018. And I was talking about this with a friend of mine. I'm not a big music concert person. I've gone to music concerts. I've gone to see Mac Miller, rest in peace. And I've seen, he came to my university. I've gone to see J. Cole twice. He came to the city I was in at university, and then also went to Ottawa to see J. Cole as well. All the concert experiences it was cool. I'm just not a music person, I guess. Like, I enjoy listening to music in the car. I enjoy listening to music with my AirPods. I feel like I used to be more into music when I was younger, but not as much anymore. I just have other things that get me going, like sports, right? Like playing sports, investing, starting a YouTube channel, just being methodical about those things, versus feeling with music. For me, the feeling something comes from connection and, camaraderie, and like something that's challenging. You have to rise to the moment. There's a lot of pressure. That's what I love. People spending money on going to a concert. I think it's cool because like you're clearly really passionate to actually go there and stand or sit, but with a big crowd of people. For me, crowds are not my thing. Like, large crowds are not my thing. The comedy show, I've never been to a comedy show. I've always wanted to go to a comedy show. But the thing with me is I'm very, it takes a lot for me to actually pull the trigger on a show like that. Number one, I've never been. I always see stand up on YouTube or Netflix or whatever, but if I can watch it at home, why physically go there? The thing with Chris D'Elia is I've been listening to his podcast since 2017, 2018. He wasn't married, didn't have kids at the time, and he's changed a lot. He disappeared for a bit, came back. He's been very transparent about, all his flaws as a human being, and going to therapy and going to rehab and all this stuff, and, parenting his kid. He's just very genuine in that sense. And I gravitate towards, I don't really gravitate towards celebrities like a lot of people do, like following their lives and wanting a picture with them or whatever. I really don't care. They're just people, right? Because I always hear him promoting, hey, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be in this city, that city. He's come to Canada before. He's coming to Toronto. I think it's a 3,000 seat venue, not super crazy like Scotiabank Arena or anything. So that's perfect for me. Not a huge crowd. I was just like, yo, this person, whenever I'm stressed out, I listen to this podcast, or I just listen to this podcast, instantly makes me laugh. Not every single episode. Obviously, he has 400 episodes. So some episodes are not his best, but I would say 70 to 80% of the time, his episodes, just him talking about his life, absolutely hilarious. I feel like I have a very similar sense of humor to him. So I bought the tickets to go see him live with a friend of mine, and I'm very excited about it. And I ended up spending $254 Canadian. Yeah, I'm very, very excited. And that's something that I love. And I just spent the money. You know what I mean? Like, I had the disposable income. That money could have gone to paying off debt. That could have gone to investing. That could have gone to saving for vacation. Could have gone to, saving for a house. But I took that money and I bought it. It's something I love, something I've never done before, something I'm genuinely going to enjoy, not doing it just as like a thing because other people are doing it. It's my first comedy show, and it's somebody that I think is absolutely hilarious. I don't listen to any other podcast, he's the main podcast I listen to whenever an episode drops. You know what I mean? It's just, longevity, it's making connection, and that's what gets people to want to come out to see you. Like, for me personally, like, it takes a lot for me to actually pull the trigger on tickets like that, right? For a sporting event, it's different, right? I've been watching sports my whole life. I have connections with the Raptors and the Blue Jays, you know what I mean? But when it comes to a comedy show, this is uncharted territory for me. So very, very excited about that. And that's something that I spent money on, that I love, and that I'm not going to save money on that. Tickets are $125. I'm not going to be like, oh man, that's a lot of money, I'm not going. The money is no object for me in that scenario, obviously within reason. I could have spent $400 a ticket if I wanted to. That I think is a little excessive given my current situation, but $125 a ticket, no brainer. All right, see you guys in the next one.